Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human body, the human biological system, is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It's a renewing system. It is designed divinely to heal itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that renewing, regenerating, healing system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we welcome your phone calls on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, formulations, ingredients, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let us be your go-to source for health and nutrition information. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear recommended or advertised on the program, please go to my blog, pharmacistben.com or criticalhealthnews.com, or you can head over to brightsideben.com and order products right off the website, or you can call the phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. If you want to start a little business and make some money, a little bit of money, medium amount of money, a lot of money selling longevity products, you can click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, criticalhealthnews.com, or pharmacistben.com, or you can tell the folks at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470 that you want to join the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $25 fee. You can have yourself a business and earn thank you checks by spreading the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. And, of course, if you're interested in purchasing any of our Truth Treatment products, including our Retinol 5% gel or our Truth Serum made with 80% premium vitamin C, lipophilic fatty vitamin C, you can head over to truthtreatments.com. That's truthtreatments.com. All right, speaking of lipophilic, fat-soluble, fat-loving, we've been talking about essential fatty acids and fats and the different types of fats, dietary fats, and fatty hormones, fatty vitamins we're going to be talking about, fat digestion, fat malabsorption we'll be talking about here over the coming days, all as it regards the skin and all as it regards hormone health and the skin. So there's three main categories of dietary fats. You have hard fats. Those are called saturated fats. And then you have fake hard fats, or fake saturated fats, I should say, the ones that are processed. You have real saturated fats, natural saturated fats. Those mostly come from coconut as well as palm. Butter is also a source of saturated fats. Avocado has some saturated fats in it. And then there's the fake saturated fats. Those are said to be hydrogenated because they're created by combining the element hydrogen, with a liquid fat, which has a hardening effect. By pumping hydrogen in through a liquid fat, you get a hydrogenated fat, which is a hard fat. It's a fake saturated fat. It's a fake butter or a fake coconut oil or a fake palm oil, in the sense that it's a fake hardened fat. In fact, they were created, these hydrogenated fats were created because lard was becoming scarce. It was expensive because you had to raise pigs to get lard, and a lot of the pig products or lard products, a lot of the sources of lard were being redirected into the cosmetics industry, believe it or not, even to this day. Procter & Gamble, Lever Brothers, these big skincare companies, huge mega skincare companies, are located in Cincinnati because that's where all the pig farms were. Anyway, When these pig byproducts were being redirected into the cosmetic business, there wasn't a lot available for food, and it was less available for food. Lard was becoming expensive, so the Procter & Gamble company came up with this way of hardening fats artificially, processing fats artificially. Actually, Crisco was the first of these hydrogenated fats, and it was actually not even designed really originally as a food source. It was designed originally to bake candles with. Procter & Gamble were candle makers. We've talked about this story in the past. I'm not going to necessarily get into it too much, except to say that the first hydrogenated fat at the turn of the 20th century was Crisco, and its introduction heralded the age of fast foods and snack foods and heart disease, as well as autoimmune disease, as well as cancer. There wasn't a lot of heart disease or autoimmune disease or cancer before Crisco. Now, I'm not saying Crisco causes these things, but there's certainly a connection between ill health, circulatory health, immune system health, and cancer, and the excess ingestion of these fake processed hydrogenated fats. So Crisco, which stands for crystallized cottonseed oil, crystallized meaning hardened cottonseed oil. Crisco was first designed to be used for candles and for soap, and then later on it got used for making chips and snack foods. Crisco and saturated fats have a very interesting property. They can be melted, and then they're going to reharden. This is very interesting because it allows us to create really tasty, irresistible foods. This fascinating effect of being melted and then rehardening over time. Not all fats will do that. Not all, certainly liquid fats don't do that, but saturated fats will melt and then reharden. And this feature of fake fats, and lard for that matter as well, and coconut oil, and also palm oil, allows them to react really nicely with starchy foods. Starchy foods have a microscopic structure that contains lots of holes in it, lots of little tiny holes. And the combination of these little tiny holes in starchy foods and melted oil, which rehardens, creates a crispy sensation. So especially if these starchy foods are sliced very thin. So if you take your potatoes, for example, but you could use any starchy food, really, wheat, potatoes, taro chips, or taro, I should say, which is a kind of potato-like substance, and you slice these foods up very, very thin, you'll expose these microscopic holes. And then when you dip that very thinly sliced starch with the microscopic holes exposed into a hot oil, a hot saturated oil, saturated fat, and then pull the starchy slice of potato or whatever up, that melted fat will harden in those holes and will create a really interesting and irresistible crispy sensation. Human beings find this crispiness irresistible. And then when that crispy, starchy, fat-laden substance is coated with salt or sometimes sugar, it becomes absolutely irresistible. The combination of the starch, the fat, and the salt, and sometimes sugar, is just downright addictive, and it's why nobody can eat just one chip. And this culinary chemical reaction between melted and rehardened saturated fat and holes, gap-filled thin slices of starch gave birth to a $1 trillion snack food industry. This really interesting phenomenon of starch plus fat that melts and then rehardens inside the holes in the starch gave birth to a $1 trillion, literally $1 trillion snack food industry. And even today, many of the largest and most profitable corporations in the world make a lot of their money by leveraging the economics of chips and crackers, which are a phenomenon of this combination of starches and oils, starches and fats and salt. These days, the phenomena of melted and rehardened fats combined with starches have been exploited to do a lot more than just create chips and crackers. French fries are made this way, onion rings are made this way, corn dogs are made this way. You can even get deep-fried Twinkies and Snickers bars and pig ears by eating foods that have been coated with flour and then dipped in melted oil, which rehardens in the flour. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll take a break and come back right after this. Don't go. Back on The bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. Try to call in early if you can so we can get to as many calls as possible. If we left you on hold yesterday or the day before, now's your chance to give us a shout. We do have lines open, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, formulations, skincare, hormone health, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number today and every day on the bright side. All right, so we're talking fats, essential fats, saturated fats. There's three major kinds of dietary fats. The first kind are saturated. You have fake saturated fats, Crisco, hydrogenated, trans. They come in different names, shortening, vegetable shortening, if you will. And then you have the real saturated fats, which come from butter and palm and coconut. Now, these saturated fats are very interesting because they're actually quite stable, unlike the unsaturated fats, the liquid fats, which we'll talk about here in a sec. Saturated fats gave birth to the entire snack food industry, as we said before we went to break. These days you can get all kinds of crazy foods that are created based on this idea that saturated fats melt and then reharden. And when they're combined with starches, you get an interesting crispy quality. And then when it's combined with salt, it becomes absolutely irresistible. And if you throw sugar on top of that, it becomes darn right addictive. Funnel cakes come to mind. Really, you can make these kinds of foods at home just by taking starch, taking flour, and then adding oil, a melted saturated oil, and then as that oil rehardens, it'll turn that starchy food, that flour, something as simple as just flour in a frying pan. It'll turn it into a crispy, somewhat irresistible food, especially if you add sugar and salt. These days you get deep-fried lemonade, deep-fried Coke, deep-fried Kool-Aid. You get deep-fried beer simply by combining these kinds of liquids with flour and then dipping them in a melted saturated fat, which then rehardens. There's really no end to this kind of stuff you can create. I've seen deep-fried bubblegum flavored marshmallows and jelly beans coated with icing and powdered sugar, if you can believe that. All right, so the second kind of dietary fat are the unsaturated fats. The first type is a saturated fat. You got fake ones and real ones, and then you have your unsaturated fats. Your unsaturated fats are the liquid ones. And most unsaturated fats are going to be vegetable derived from vegetation, from vegetables, grains especially, seeds too. And they're not stable, and this is a problem. Fats are super high energy. They're the highest energy of any food group. And with high energy always comes high instability. They work together. The reason something is highly energetic is literally because it's unstable. So when you have high energy, you've got high instability. In the world of nutrition, that's kind of a mixed bag. It's a dual-edged sword. In the world of nutrition, obviously you're looking for high energy, get the most bang for your buck with something that's high energy, but you got to be very careful with stuff that's high energy, with fats that are high energy, because they're highly unstable. And just like high energy nutrients are really important, highly unstable nutrients are really dangerous, at least problematic in terms of anti-aging and in terms of diseases. Manufacturers of these kinds of oils, of these unsaturated oils, will kind of improve or attempt to improve the stability of their product by removing the nutrients, by taking out the vitamin E, by taking out the phytonutrients, creating a dead food which is stable. That's why if you go down to your local supermarket, the section with all the oils, you'll see cooking oils in a clear bottle. Anytime you see oil in a clear bottle, you've got yourself a dead oil. Living, live, nutrient-filled oils need to be kept in a dark bottle. They need to be kept in the refrigerator, and they need to be used fresh. Supermarket oils, and you can tell just by seeing them in a clear bottle. In fact, you can tell by any time there's an oil in a clear bottle that you're dealing with a nutrient-empty or a nutrient-deprived product. Manufacturers think that's a good thing because then they have a stable oil. And it is a good thing if you want to sell a product, but it's not a good thing for your body. And even worse, these grain oils and seed oils can become damaged by the processing and by the heat at the factory. And this is why some healthcare practitioners, Dr. Wallach included, Dr. Glidden and other folks that I know, will advise against eating liquid fats, liquid oils, especially when they're fried or subjected to heat. But a lot of nutritionists, a lot of alternative practitioners will say, don't